Hi, welcome to another episode of Stall Talk, all you Stall Talk babes. I'm Jenilee Harrison, and this is
Cassandra Wilkins. Welcome back to Stall Talk, the place where we feel comfortable as women to be our true, vulnerable selves, just how we are in the bathroom stall.
And you might recognize this gal coming up on our next interview for all her viral videos. So stay tuned. Ooh, come on in.
Let's get down and dirty.
The totally unfiltered, honest.
Up to my brain.
I love your brain.
Stall Talk.
Stall Talk.
Y'all ready? Stall Talk is brought to you in part by Kira, high quality hair extensions.
I think lots of times, especially with the holidays, people are going to the movies.
Oh, I love the movies.
Right? So, and especially with Wicked out and Moana, what do you think about all this controversy about they're not allowed to sing, you can sing, you shouldn't sing? What do you think about that?
That is such an interesting topic. You know, both of the films were not films that I was interested in watching specifically.
Why?
Until I was the reason why for Wicked specifically is I'm just not a musical person. I've never enjoyed sitting through films musicals. I like musicals in real life, at a theater. But in movies, I'm just get to the plot. I'm like, why do they always have to take a break and sing? They'll have a line and then it'll break into a dancing thing, and I'm like, it's just not for me personally. So that's why I feel like when it comes to when they're saying no singing, I think it's interesting because it annoys me because I'm just not a musical person, but I feel like for the audience that's in that theater, if they are musical people, I feel like they would want to join along and be a part of it. So that's why I'm like, it's kind of confusing because for
it is
those
confusing.
people, I feel like they would like that.
Yeah, it is confusing, I think, because after they said, even in the movie theaters, they had posted no singing in the theater on Wicked. And then Dwayne Johnson came out because Moana came out a week later, but he came out and said, I want everybody to sing.
And I love that.
Right. But I guess why, I don't know, because I haven't gone to either one. But I guess the reason why they say that is because of someone singing, maybe they're taking away the journey from the other person that paid for the ticket. But I don't know, even in the country western world, which one
of your favorite topics. I like the country western boys.
I do too, and I love the country western animals, all the horses and everything else, and the donkeys. But Miranda Lambert, a while ago, she was singing on one of her concerts, and there were a couple girls that were standing up and taking selfies, and Miranda Lambert stopped the concert and said, you paid to see me and look at me and stand down or something. It was really bizarre.
I'm like, the word I'm thinking of starts with the B, but I don't want to say it. But what a not nice person. I feel like as a fan, if I was there, it'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm here to see one of my favorite celebrities. We're taking selfies. I would take that as a compliment, not it's all about me.
It's something, I don't know. So maybe there's another backstory to that but Adele then even came out later, and Adele was at her concert in Vegas and girls were taking selfies, and Adele stopped the show to help them take a selfie with her.
I love that.
So see?
It's just, I think it's all perspective.
Yeah.
It's all perspective. I would have been let me pull up, let me join. Can I take a picture with you?
Yeah. Because all of it, right? And at the holidays, it's always about just camaraderie. And again, my bottom line is everybody just be kind, right? Well, stay tuned because we have a fabulous show coming up.
Hey guys, we're introducing our special guest, Katja Glieson today. You may know her from back in the day and her viral social media skits, and now she's killing it in the entertainment and music world. So welcome to Stall Talk.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We're so excited.
So excited to talk to you,
Yeah.
fellow Aussie.
Another Aussie, so we can say stall talk.
Stall talk.
Wait, how do I say that?
You say
Stall talk.
Yeah,
Stall talk.
Stall
Welcome
talk.
to Stall Talk. I love that. So, okay, tell us, how did you find your passion for this whole entertainment world?
Ooh, I think back in Australia, we have such a crazy sense of humor, and I think one of the things that you sort of grow up watching is like our fellow comedians, and just we have a really lighthearted sense of humor, and we don't take ourselves too seriously.
I love that.
Yeah.
You're at the right place.
It's pretty chill. Yeah. So I loved being a part of the entertainment community and making people laugh, because I always felt that, I don't know, I kind of grew up a bit isolated and sort of bullied during schools, but laughter always helped. So anything comedic or music or anything like that was always self-soothing. So I think it kind of came from self-soothing.
I'm going to say it's interesting
Trauma?
how
Do we say trauma? Is that where it
who go through these things, somehow we end up in this space, and it's very interesting how we go from like our trauma to comedy. I love it. We just laugh it off.
I mean, why not? It's alchemy. We're alchemizing negative energy into something positive. I think that's kind of where it stems from, which is really cheesy, but this is what it is.
No, girl.
It is what it is.
No, I literally resonate. The alchemizing and the trauma and using sarcasm to,
oh my gosh,
like that is what we do, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but it was always sarcasm to cover up that pain underneath.
Oh, like the first thing people would say to me when I came out to LA was like, "Why do you hate yourself?" I'm like,
what do you mean?
Just the way
thought we all
just
do.
with the sarcasm and the self-deprecating humor so consistently, I was like, oh wow, that's actually really toxic.
Yeah.
I'm like speaking really negatively about myself, and like, yeah, I had to sort of take a step back and go, what, is it really that funny? Like,
well, it's the tall poppy syndrome that we come from, right?
Yes.
What is that?
Tall poppy. Yeah, it sort of comes from, if you can imagine like poppy flowers, and one just like gets up a little taller than the rest, everyone will come and cut you down.
Oh.
Yeah, shine, but don't outshine too much.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't like that when you stick out and you're different. Is that
yeah,
just
it's like, yeah, do good, but don't do too good, because then you're kind of,
I feel like that's what we're always told as women. Like, stay in your lane, like explore a little bit, but like don't get too crazy now.
Yeah,
so add that culture on top of being a woman, and it's like, yeah, the self-deprecating comments and laugh it off and ha ha ha, and yeah,
don't be in your full power, and don't.
I'm curious,
it's crazy.
What struggles did you face moving from here to LA?
I think you can probably understand. It's a bit of a culture shock. I think what I thought about America was that it wasn't going to be like the movies, and then it was. And I was like, oh, it really is. It is like the movies. But LA is so different from the rest of America. So I've had the privilege of being able to do some music outside of LA and go around a bit of America. And I've sort of felt middle America and sort of the East Coast was like kind of similar to Australia, but LA is like a whole other thing.
What brought you here from Australia to LA?
I just really wanted to be in the entertainment industry. I think with Australia, it's very cliquey. You kind of have to already be a little bit nepo baby or be born into wealth or something like it's just really, really hard to just break through over there. And I know a lot of my friends, and even my sister's an actress, and she's probably one of the best actresses I've ever seen, and she just struggles because there's not as much work out there unless you're in with the in crowd.
So I'm curious, what was that moving process like? Were you alone? Did you have people out here? How was that for you?
I knew one person who wrote who wrote for a girl band that I was in Australia, and I sort of was like, help, because I was very young,
How old were you?
Straight. I was coming here since I was in my teens.
Oh, you were really young.
Bit of a runaway. bit of a like, I'm just gonna check out America, see how it goes, and kept coming back. And then the time that I would stay would just be longer and longer. And
until
my parents now are like, so you're not coming back, are you?
You're like,
maybe.
That's how I feel. I can't see myself ever going home.
Yeah. It's funny because we'll be like, oh, it's a bit of a culture shock, and LA is very different. And we talked about how like the middle of the city can be very fake, and it's difficult to deal with people that you think you can trust, and you sort of everyone says, oh, we're family, we're gonna be and you'll do everything that's loyal, and you'll just expect it back. And
I feel like they
that's not the
know when you're
case.
like not from LA.
Yep.
Like when you're not born in the city. Because I'm like, I didn't come all the way from Australia. I came from 3 hours away, tiny town.
Yeah.
It's like they know.
Can I say that point right there has got me into a lot of trouble because they see you coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're open, we're friendly, we're bubbly. And it's like, okay, let's see how much we can test
Take
her.
and take.
Yes. And there's been moments where you think it's genuine, but there's always an agenda.
Yeah. Agenda. That's the word.
I'm curious to know what's your experience with that, especially being in the music industry.
Oh.
That reaction alone was enough for me.
There's multiple ways to work through your journey as an artist or as a person in this industry and in this town. And one of the ways is to learn all the lessons and to just go ahead and figure out how to do it yourself. So what I'm grateful for is the bubble popping of like someone's going to discover me or save me or come along and they're going to like the label's gonna sign you and it's just gonna happen. That's I don't think that's ever really been a thing. Unless you've got lots of money.
Since you've been here, you've gone viral so many times. What was that experience like going viral for the first time?
It's like a sugar rush. It's it's a big high. You're kind of like, where is this coming from? It's sort of out of control, and then it crashes.
Can you explain that crash a little bit more?
The crash is, it's just I think it's just thinking that it's going to result in a cascade of other events happening.
Okay.
I think that's kind of what we believe will happen is, you'll go viral and maybe you'll always go viral or you'll keep growing and it just kind of stops.
Yeah.
And so
I can relate to that on a small scale.
Yeah.
like when you post a picture and you get like a ton of likes and a ton of comments, and then the next time you're like, wait, like what did I do wrong? Like, did I not look good in this picture? Did I
see? But that's the problem. What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What? And then you're looking at every tiny little thing. Well, maybe it's because I revealed my body a bit more. And that's how people start to reveal their bodies a little more. And even though they may have told themselves, I'm not going to be that kind of a person, it's like
reaction
that gets the reaction, that gets the validation.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you have to start.
So interesting.
Yeah, you have to start working on what validation is to you.
And then the pressure of that. So I can't relate in terms of all your experiences, but the opportunities that I've had since being here, it's the same. It's like, oh my God, what's going to happen after this?
Right.
The crash, the dealing with that out here on your own when your family back home don't really understand what it is to firstly live here, then have those job opportunities. But that crash there, I'm so curious to know how you deal with it because I've struggled with it. I continue to struggle with it.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's incredible opportunities, but the in-between of keeping that mindset healthy and balanced and grounded.
Look, I'm sorry that you've been through that, and I'm sure like lots of us do. And there are times where I'm like, but all the people that I've known, they've all got their family here, and they call their family, and they can call friends that they've known since they were young, and I've sort of left it all over there, and everyone in Australia kind of just is like, well, how's it going? And you're like, oh yeah, great. Like all you can say is good or
think
great.
You failed, so it's always like you're always constantly trying to be like, oh, it's great, even though like you just had like something shitty happen. It's like they're not gonna know I came all the way out here and I'm like not succeeding.
But also they want to see you do good, but then they're also kind of waiting for you to fall too.
Oh,
I mean,
facts.
And it's like I'm not gonna give them that.
Yeah, but to leave Australia and to come and make it in a town like this. Like when
that
you
takes some guts.
It
takes sacrifice. You sacrifice a lot. There's a lot that people get out of consistently having a support group. Like it's sometimes you sort of go, well, what am I even here for? If you don't have that if you don't have
community is
community.
everything, and it's I have my people, but it still feels that bit isolating because you're just not in your own home ground,
and it's so competitive, and there is that kind of like just pulling each other down. It's I feel your pain. I feel it, and I know what you mean, and I think it's honoring yourself and taking the time and stepping back, and if like anything makes you feel the ick, just go no, like literally
stage left by
exit stage left.
Every time they give me the ick, exit stage
that was
left.
what I was referring to in my mind.
Do it.
You're like
I was like straight away to the men part.
over there.
Do it until they figure out what they're doing that gives women the ick, and then they can fix it.
I'm gonna take this advice now. That is something I learned today.
That is some good advice.
Keep following. I feel like our body. There is actually a book called "The Body is the Barometer of the Soul," where what happens in our body can reflect emotions and what we've been through. And I think you can notice what your body is telling you.
It is interesting how your body tells you things.
The
butterflies
learning
in the stomach,
that.
run.
Yeah,
They're not excitement.
knows.
It is like a warning sign. Run as fuck.
Butterflies is a warning sign. Yeah, I think a calm nervous system is the sign that things are good.
And I feel like mine is like the opposite. I follow like so many therapists on Instagram, but basically like mine's kind of the opposite. I'm like, when it's good, I'm like, wait, this isn't right. I'm not used to this. Like something's wrong. So I'm like, let me come up with some drama or come up with something because I need that.
That's the familiarity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's just like learning how like, wait, it's like maybe my mind is just backwards and that's not how it's actually supposed to be.
No, I don't think you're backwards. I also think that we still need to learn the lessons we need to learn. So maybe even though we're not listening to our body, well, then you'll learn the lesson and then you'll go, oh, that's what my body was telling me. So you're still,
for next
like we need to have
self-trust.
Yeah, we need to hold space for exploration and mistakes. That's the problem with social media right now is like you've got to be perfect. You can't change your mind.
It's like you said that once, so you must still feel that way like 10 years later.
It's like
the perfection bubble doesn't exist.
I hate to bring up even politics, but this is just as an example of changing your mind. People saying about Joe Biden, oh, he said he wasn't ever going to pardon his son. And it's like, he's a human and he changed his mind. Like
that's what humans are.
And whatever else we deal with and whatever else standards you hold to a president is those are your standards, but there's also a human being.
Yeah. That is a huge
made a decision
point
to change their mind.
We are humans at the end of the day. And like the fact that we hold people almost in contempt of having to stay to that person or what they said or how they were in that specific time is unrealistic.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
I agree.
You've lived your life so public. What is that like day to day?
I mean, is it that public? Like, I feel like anything that anyone shares is not what their life is. Exactly.
I agree with that
like it's,
too.
Yeah, like anything any of us share is not our life.
It's like I like to say like our highlight reel, like all of our best things that we share. How do you like balance like kind of like having boundaries on like what you share and like what's too personal and like what not to share?
I think because I sort of leaned more into the entertainment side, so I do acting and music and that kind of stuff. I haven't really been more of like a personal.
So it's like more of like a character kind of?
Yeah, I feel like my personality sort of comes through a little bit, but yeah, I don't really share too much about like family, or I keep things very sacred. Like who I'm dating is always. I don't think I've ever even posted.
Is she dating someone? Is she not?
Yeah, like since I learnt lessons about posting who you're dating and all that kind of stuff, I was like,
too.
You know what? I'm just not gonna
keep it private.
Yeah, I just make it about whatever I'm creating and in that moment.
That's very interesting.
Do you have advice for someone entering the music industry and the content creating industry coming from Australia?
Ooh, it's hard because I've met people on different ends of the spectrum, and there's some people that have come here and they've got lots of support, or at least one person supporting them. But for people that have no one supporting them, they're the ones that really need help and advice. And I think it's just keep listening to your instincts. Set boundaries, definitely.
That's a big one.
Set boundaries, but also follow through on those boundaries.
That's where it's hard.
Yeah, I think a lot of times,
it's like you know how you want to be treated, but then it's like it's hard to actually follow through with those boundaries.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Put the boundary in place. Want to run straight back to what I said I wasn't going to do.
It's like I don't even know how to like tell someone like how not to do it. It's just daily, like just something that we just learn within ourselves and try to figure
there's
out.
that
navigate.
guilt that you feel after telling someone the truth. What is like that? That's messed up. Women need to stop with that
The
because
good girl conditioning.
I'm always like, sorry, I have a boyfriend. I'm like, no, you're I'm like, no, really, I have a boyfriend. That's why I'm not interested in you right
But even
now.
if you don't have a boyfriend, why do you have to have an excuse? Like, why are you trying to make someone feel better?
The over-explaining
like,
yourself.
just I'm not interested, and that's okay. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. Like, people take things a little too, especially males.
Because then the second
Take it a little too
you hurt
personally,
their,
it's
their
like-
little ego, they're like, well, I don't even like you anyways. Like you're not even that pretty. And I'm just like, gosh, I was trying to be nice too.
Yeah. See what you get for just trying to be
Exactly.
nice. Like, I think maybe we should all just be honest and see as honest as some people are online. Because people seem to control their little fingers
Yeah.
when they're anonymous.
Have you experienced that a lot in your career?
Oh, it's consistent. Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
You have to not look at it anymore. I think there was a time when I was doing social media and they're like, oh, if you want to keep going viral, make sure you're always engaging. But then that leaves
so
you
much
open and
pressure.
exposed to the people that are really trying to hurt you. And even if you have like a thick skin, nasty words still hurt.
Of course.
So you've got to just filter it yourself and go, you know what, I'm not going to. That's why a lot of like some celebrities only allow their friends to comment and stuff like that. Like it's
hard.
It's self-care. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. You either put yourself out there and allow people to do rage baiting and then it'll help you go more viral. There's a lot of social media people that don't take things as personally and
Yeah, but at what cost? Your mental health? Hell no.
well, some people don't care. Like I grew up with like a lot of the Viners. Like I lived at the Vine building before I even knew what Vine was, and they were all living there and filming, and they were more like, what can I do to trigger people more to get more numbers? And it was, it was a data thing.
They didn't take it as personal. It sounds like a business.
And if that's the way you're looking at it, then that's great. But if you're like feeling about it, then you should.
You are human. You have a heart.
You don't have to.
That before
Yeah.
you type something. So since you've been working in the entertainment business, you've come up with so many projects. What are some of your favorites?
Woo! I always love making music videos. That's kind of because I loved like Michael Jackson music videos. I'll watch them now, like if I can, just because I love the narrative, I love the music. Like it was just all encompassing. So music videos are always sort of a little passion project for me because it just seems doable. Like it's manageable for like one brain to handle.
I'm curious, how did those skits come about, the content creating of those skits? Because they are so cool.
Thank you.
I was watching you rap. I was like, she got bars.
Oh, rapping well, the rap battle I was cast in, so I can't take credit for that. That wasn't written by me, but I was so grateful to be a part of that because I'd never done anything social media until I did that rap battle, and it was like that was my first.
Did you expect it to blow up the way that it did?
Wow. It was just an unpaid, hey, we had the same manager. You kind of look like Elsa. We heard you're a singer. Do you think you could rap?
That's awesome.
Kind of a thing. Yeah. And it just.
That's the beauty of this place, right?
Music career.
Yeah.
So cool.
You don't know when something will. That's pretty cool.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on Stall
Thank
Talk
you.
and sharing your stories. We're so excited to keep up with you.
I know. Well, yeah, we need to like keep chatting because
sure, I love
obviously
that.
we need some genuine authenticity
Yeah.
Love that.
coming out here.
Put our Stall Talk camaraderie going.
Yeah.
What a fabulous interview. That seems so great with you guys, huh?
She was so sweet. It was refreshing to meet someone like her here in LA.
Oh, coming from Australia, and you could so relate, huh?
I really felt like I was able to connect almost immediately, and almost a sense of like, I've got one of my people. Not that I don't connect with like you ladies and anyone here, but just coming from the same country, knowing how challenging it is coming to a new country. It was really cool.
And she came,
a really unique experience.
She came when she was young too.
That was, for me, like, that's brave. I mean, coming here in my 30s, like, different.
You're in your 30s?
Thank you.
I was like, you don't look like it. You look great.
I love you, Cass.
Fabulous.
Wow.
But yeah, I know that I had a difficult time, even just like you, Cass, is when I first went away to college, and my college was like 30 minutes away when I first went. And I mean, I was devastated.
Scary.
I was crying every weekend that I don't want to go back, because I was
Back home or back to college?
I didn't want to go back to college. I wanted to be at home.
It's hard.
It's hard leaving the nest, and you guys going a whole, another continent away.
Honestly, like, I have moments where I'm like, what am I doing? But yeah, you go through these different stages, like after, like she said, like a big crush after having a huge viral moment. It's a lot to take on, like, mentally, and while you're in it, you're like, I'm not coping, I can't do this. And then you look back and you're like, I got through that. And so you're kind of building this like invisible resilience, thinking that you don't have what it takes to survive out here. And then for me, it's now 3 years that I've been here, and I'm like, how did I get through that?
And I had a hard time relating, which is why I love this show, because I can hear other people speak about these topics. But I don't, I was born and raised in the United States of America, in LA. I haven't gone far from home, and yet you guys saying that even today you feel that you're treated differently because people just know you weren't born here.
Yeah.
I feel like that's especially an LA thing, like specifically too.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you go out, you meet people, and when they hear your accent, it's like, oh, they're not from here. So, that is almost like shiny disco ball. And it's almost just, I don't know, you kind of need to be cautious of who you trust, because we wear our heart on our sleeve. Well, I do anyway. I mean, sounds like she does. You just need to be cautious. I've kind of gone in too strong and just expected that it would be like a friendship or you can trust them, and it hasn't worked out that way.
And so how do you navigate that? How do you keep yourself feeling good about yourself and whole, and that you want to be here and positive and not have those negative feelings? How do you keep on top of that?
Good question.
It's really, no, it is a really good question. I struggle. I have moments where I'm like, this is really not feeling uplifting for me right now. And I have jaded moments, and I have to call on my people, and I have to really kind of dig deep and have open, vulnerable conversations with not only my friends back home, but the ones here living this life, because the ones back home can only say so much to me. But the ones here are like, you've got this. Like, even if it means that they're, voice noting me when I wake up in the morning, giving me some kind of like, burst of encouragement.
Support system.
I have to. I mean, I honestly don't know how I would cope if I didn't.
I know that for me, what I say is I do not allow toxicity in my life. So I'm very good at saying no. That it's like, nope, that doesn't work for me. I'm out of here.
That's why you surround yourself with the donkeys and the chickens.
No, I need to take a leaf out of your book. Seriously, It's saying no and not allowing it for the sake of like keeping the connection, or you know what I mean?
Because that's something I'm still working on, navigating.
Same.
I still work on it every day. We have to work on our own self-help. And that was the most beautiful part. I think this interview was fantastic. Awesome. And thank you so very much for you guys being a part of it.
Trending up, trending down.
What?
All right, guys, it's that time. Trending up and trending down with Stall Talk. Black Friday season. Oh my gosh, all of the stores are dead now. Has anybody noticed that? Do you remember back in the day when it would be packed? Like, we would be fighting for a new pair of Beats, for a TV, whatever it is. And now it's like crickets. Nobody's there. Looks like we're all shopping online. How are you guys shopping this season, or what did you guys get? I'm curious. That's it for me from Trending Up and Trending Down. Stall Talk is brought to you in part by Cura, high-quality hair extensions.
So thanks so much for watching another episode of Stall Talk.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us for more.